Hi, ladies. Good morning. I have a very special guest with me in the room. Come here. Come here. Come on. Come. Come. Do you want to meet him? This is my sweet, my sweet pup, Kai. Say hi. He's so sweet. We've been spending a lot of quality time together because Josh has been out of town. So, he's been really sweet, and he's going to be 1 next month, and I just adore him. And he's playing with his new toy. Hopefully he does not destroy it as quickly as others in the past, because he is like super smart and just will rip things apart. I can't even give him any soft toys. So if anyone in this group, this is totally unrelated to what we're talking about today, but if you have any recommendations for indestructible dog toys that actually are indestructible, let me know. Hi, good morning. And so for those of you who don't know me yet, today we're going to get into a training that I'm super excited about, and I think a lot of you are really excited about as well, which is all about creating sustainable income in your business. And I'm super excited to talk about this today because personally, this has been something that's been really a non-negotiable for me in starting my business, in creating a coaching business, in creating a business that's location independent. I always have known that if I was going to step away from my full-time job and actually do this and be serious about it and create a career that I love, part of it being sustainable is creating income consistently. And that's something that I've looked around and seen a lot of women struggling with in the past. No matter what kind of business they're running, I think this is something that a lot of us can struggle with, and it can be across industries, across business models, across age ranges. Like, it doesn't matter so much who you are, what you're doing. This is something that I've noticed coming up for women across the board that I work with and that I know and love in my life and in my business. So he's very freaked out. Anyway, so yes, this is something I'm super excited about and passionate to talk about with you today, because this is something that tends to come up a lot in my sessions with clients, whether that's one-on-one or intensive sessions or group coaching calls. And it's something that can be very, very stressful and have us feel resentful about our businesses and about what we're up to, and even about our mission in the world, because we feel like, oh, if it's not creating income, then it's not gonna work long term, and that's a fact, and I agree with you. So part of what I offer in my coaching programs and sessions and group programs as well is really this piece of the puzzle, putting this back into alignment, because when we have this piece feeling off, then nothing we do really feels amazing, because we're not both giving and receiving. We feel like we're almost like hemorrhaging energy out into the world. That sounds kind of grotesque, but we're just letting a lot go. We're giving a ton and we're not getting much back in return, because the truth of the matter is we live in a world and in a society that money is our primary value system. When it comes to exchanging and buying and investing in ourselves and investing in our businesses, we need money and capital to be able to do that. And so this is very, very important for so many reasons. And I'm just going to introduce myself briefly for those of you who haven't met me yet. I know there's been a lot of women who are new to this group, which I'm super excited about. And thank you so much for being here. And thank you so much for your questions. I know that there were more questions than ever before about this topic. So that tells me that this is important to you. It's important to me. It's important to us as a community of women. And it's something that you're excited about, and it's something that you're challenged by at the moment, and I want to help support you with that. So I am Emily Castle. I'm a soulful success coach for women leaders and entrepreneurs across the globe, and I really believe that when a woman embraces and expresses her innate feminine wisdom in her life and in her business, that it impacts not only her future and as well as our future as women, and also the future of our world. Because what I see and what I know to be true is that our world in a big way is lacking a lot of the feminine qualities that we've sort of lost because we haven't valued them for centuries. And so a lot of my work is about soulful strategy for women in business, in their life and their business, to make more money, make more impact, and make a difference that they're meant to make here in this world. And also to, oh, I just lost my train of thought, sorry. I was thinking about something else that I had just said. But anyway, so that's what I do. And I have group programs, I have private coaching programs, I'm creating a high-level business mastermind, I do retreats, workshops, events, things like that. If you are in Pittsburgh this weekend, I'm hosting a collaborative workshop with one of my best friends there, Sydney, and we are going to be at Inhale Pittsburgh on Sunday for a workshop all about, it's called First Love, and I'm so excited about it. It's going to be a heart-opening yoga class. We're going to do some sister circle in person, and I'm going to give you some coaching tips and tools and things to use in your life to value yourself as your first love instead of, seeking outside of ourselves to find validation and love and approval and all of the things that keep us really tripped up, because I believe that when a woman treats herself as a loved one, she becomes unstoppable. So I'm excited to share that with you. If you're in Pittsburgh on Sunday, you can come join us. Okay, so let's dive into today's topic. I know this is a big one. It's a juicy one. A lot of you had a ton of questions. I have about 9 different points that I want to cover today in this training, and there may be more that pop up as we go. I don't have all of your questions right in front of me, but I've used all of your questions to create these solutions for you today for this training. So hopefully this speaks to your unique business, and if you end up hopping on live, or if you're watching the replay, you can post a comment and just let me know if you have any other questions that I can help you answer around all of these points, because I know we don't have forever, and this is one training, but I'd be happy to support you in any way that I can outside of this space. If there's anything you want me to elaborate on, or if there's anything that you need specific support with in your business, I'd be happy to help or direct you to someone who would be the right fit for you. So, okay. The first thing when it comes to creating sustainable income in your business, the thing that a lot of us don't focus on because we get so caught up in, where's my next client coming from? Or am I going to have enough? Or is the money enough? Oh, I need more, right? And sometimes that is true. We need to make our bills, and we need to, have a comfortable living, and we need to not be in scarcity mode. And that is also a mindset and a perspective shift. But what I want to talk about with this point is that we really need to be present and focus on delighting our customers and clients that we have right now, doing things to make them feel special, really deeply connecting with them and adding value to their lives in some way. And also thinking about your offerings. How could you add value? So I know that there are a lot of you in this group who have totally different business models. Some of you are stylists and hairstylists, and you own a salon, and some of you are coaches and healers, and you have virtual offerings, and some of you have in-person offerings, and some of you have you're running bigger programs and nonprofits and things like that. So this is I'm going to be a bit general on purpose so that you can hopefully start to get your creative juices flowing around your unique business model. So I want you to take everything that I'm saying today and apply it to your own business and think about these things, like how could I do more of this? So focus on delighting your customers and clients that you have right now, because referral business is a great source of income and additional income. And also repeat business is a great source of consistent, sustainable income. When you delight someone, or even think about it from the other side of things, when you go into a store or have a service, or you work with someone who you just are continuing to get great results with, or you are continuing to have the best time, and even if it's more money, it doesn't matter, because you just love it so much. You feel like $1 million walking out of there. You feel like things are shifting. You feel like you feel amazing in your body, or about your hair, or about whatever that person just helped you do. And that feeling of feeling delighted and feeling like you just had the best experience, you were valued, there was value added to your life, it was an amazing use of your time, all of those things. You were taken care of, you felt supported, you felt held and heard and listened to. It can be very subtle shifts that we may need to make in our businesses to focus on delighting our current clients and customers. But oftentimes, no matter what your business model is, no matter what industry that you're in, no matter how you're working with people, the most important piece of this and the precursor to actually delighting your customers and clients is two things. One is being present enough with them when you're actually spending time with them. This is a tough one because we all have a million things going on, and it can be hard when you're walking into a session with a client or when you're about to do a service and you feel like your whole life is just up in the air, or something just happened, or you just got some bad news, or you started your day off feeling kind of icky. You know, you woke up on the wrong side of the bed or something, and you're just having an off day. But the trick is, can you drop that at the door? Can you do something, maybe a ritual or of some kind, to recenter yourself and reground so that you can set yourself up to be as present as possible with the people you're serving when you're actively serving them, so that they feel really heard and seen and held, and like they're listened to and you're actually connecting with them. And also so that you're listening to them enough to know what they need from you. So often, you know, this is something that comes up a lot in my sessions with clients. We forget the value and the power of listening. We want to, you know, someone hires us as a consultant or a coach or something or another, and our role usually is, as a leader, to give them something, right? To give them advice, or to, you know, give them what they're paying for, or give them a session, or give them a class, or give something. And we forget that at the same time that we are in the giving role, it is so important to also receive and to listen to what it is that they're actually saying and what it is that they actually need from you to make this exceptional, to make this experience exceptional for them. And when we listen or ask the questions and then listen to their answers, we end up getting so much great information and intel about how we can improve and how we can delight them even more. So asking questions that may seem a little bit like out of the ordinary, like what's your favorite thing to drink, or what's your birthday, or what's your love language, how do you like receiving, like how do you feel most supported? All of these types of things, maybe you have surveys or questionnaires that you have your customers or clients fill out before they even come into a session, so that you can prepare for them in a way that's going to feel like you're really listening to them and that they're delighted when they leave. So that's one thing. There are about a billion ideas I could go into, a million tangents that I could go into around that one specific thing. But I want you to get creative and think about this for your unique business and your unique business model and the way that you work with people. How could you delight your current clients and customers even more? Maybe it's giving them a gift, or making sure you have their tea ready when they get there, or getting their favorite snacks. Little things. It's the little things that make a big difference and are going to shift the way people perceive their experience with you, and it's going to have them talk about it, and it's going to be great for referrals, and it's also going to help them come back to you because they had such a great experience. That way, when you nurture the people who are already customers and clients of yours, you aren't starting from zero. Just like if you were thinking about this in terms of like an employee, right? If it costs, you know, $10,000 to train someone new versus putting your resources into developing the people that you already have on your team, same thing goes with clients and customers, right? You do a lot of marketing, and if you were to put a dollar amount on all of your time and energy that goes into that, it costs, you know, a decent amount of money to obtain a new client. And so you want to make sure that you're really delighting the people who are already coming to you, and that you're doing really great work for them, and that not that you're putting a ton of pressure on yourself to do better and push harder and be perfect or anything, but you are focusing on being present with them, really listening to them, connecting with them, delighting them when they are with you, so that they come back and that they talk about their experience with others. Okay, so that's the first point. We have 9, so hang in. Maybe they won't all be as long as that. I'm going to try to be a little bit more, you know, to the point. Okay, so the second one is diversify your offerings. I see this a lot where we only offer one thing. And for a while in my own business, when I was first starting, I just offered private coaching, and it was just 9 months, and it was just one thing, and I worked in a certain way, and that was it. And I noticed that I had a gap for people, that there were people who I could be serving and I could be making money from and helping along the way if I had something that fit where they were and what they needed from me that I wasn't currently doing. But the catch is also doing it in a way that feels fun, and not just because you see somebody else doing it, or not just because you think it's a good way to make money. It has to also feel in alignment for you personally and with your business and with your mission, of course, and the way that you like to work and the way that you do well. But diversifying your offerings. So maybe you have a service that you offer. Let's say you're a coach, and typically you would offer just private coaching. Maybe there's an opportunity for you to offer a group program about something really specific that would help somebody who is interested in working with you but not quite at the point where they're ready for private coaching, or they're not sure about it yet, to work with you in a group setting or in a way that requires less energy. So you don't have to discount things. We were talking about this in my group program yesterday on a call in the Soulful Success Collective. It's not necessary for you to discount things or try to give them away for free all the time when they are a paid service, but maybe there's an opportunity there for you to create an offering that's a lower commitment or a lower investment that requires a different amount of your time and energy that would be proportionate to that offering, and be able to serve more people. Or maybe there's an opportunity for you to create a branded product. Maybe there's something that you do really well. Maybe it's a meditation bundle for people that they can purchase online. Maybe it's an e-course. Maybe it's an actual tangible product. Maybe you make essential oil blends that you love to send your clients. Well, you could monetize that and put it on your website and sell them for people. Maybe you make jewelry, and that's something you really love to do, and maybe there's an opportunity for you to create some money doing that and make it customized to your clients who are already coming to you for a different reason. Maybe you love arranging flowers, and there's an opportunity to do something like that. Maybe you love essential oils, and you could join an MLM and sell them to your clients because that's what you're referring them to anyway, and you may as well benefit from it. We're going to get into a little bit more about like affiliates in a second, but there are a lot of programs like Amazon, for example. They have an influencer program. So you could sign up for that and make a bit of a kickback financially on anything that you recommend to someone who buys it. You know, if you find you're recommending books or products or, you know, beauty tools or something to your clients anyway, you might as well make some money off of that and send them the direct link to your shop on Amazon as an influencer. Or if you sign up for an Amazon Associates account, I think it is, you can create, you can send them a direct link and you'll still get 10% back, I think. So that's a great way to make some additional money. The Amazon version is a little bit smaller, but maybe for your unique business, it actually is pretty huge. So depending on your model, look at that opportunity to diversify your offerings and not just offer one type of service or one type of product, but maybe that there's an opportunity for you to take what you do in person and put some of it online. And maybe there's an opportunity for you to do events or workshops or something totally different that you haven't done before, that you haven't thought of yet, that would allow you to diversify your offerings, reach more people, create new streams of revenue, and enjoy what you're doing more because you're not just doing one thing, but you're able to use more of your gifts, more of your strengths, and serve more people in more ways that feel fun while keeping it also all aligned, so it doesn't feel like you're doing a million different things pulled in a million different directions, but creating aligned offerings that are diversified. Okay, the third thing is consider your sales funnel. I have a graphic of this because I was talking about it on my group call yesterday, and I have like little lines on it, so sorry if this is very confusing. Okay, I'm trying to get this so you can see it. Okay, so this is 1, 2, and 3. This is a basic sales funnel. So level 1 is all of your free offerings, all of the things that you give away for free. It's social media, free gift, newsletters, opt-in offers, PDFs. I'm blanking on a lot of things right now, but that. Maybe for you, if you own a boutique like my friend, she kind of does styling for free when people come in, right? Level 2 is low investment, low commitment. And level 3 is like your VIP offerings. Now, I'll tell you what we typically do. We want someone to go from here to here, right? We want them to see something free that we did, a social media post or something, and then buy our highest level program or product or service, right? What I want you to think about now is, what is the gap here? What is level 2? Or maybe you only have people from 1 to 2 and you don't have a third level offering. Or maybe the level 1 isn't proportionately larger or large enough to funnel enough people into this and to this to make it feel like you're creating sustainable income that's enough for you to survive and to thrive, right? So like this is bigger for a reason. See how this is a funnel? So there are less people here than there are here, more people here than there are here. So you want to make sure that this is casting a wide net, your free offerings, so that you're filtering more people into level 2 of your low commitment, low investment offerings. And then the people who really you want to work with and who you can really serve at a higher level, they're coming into level 3. So maybe if you own, let's say, a hair salon, right? Level 1 is like all of your marketing, promotions, and videos maybe that you do. Maybe it's at, free events or advertisements or things like that. Then level 2 is maybe you host a workshop in your salon. Maybe you, like a self-love workshop, maybe. Maybe you do a weekly yoga class at your salon, or with, hosted by your salon at a yoga studio, and you do a partnership. Maybe you have something that maybe you partner with a florist and they sell flower arrangements in your salon that people can pick up, that brings more people in the door, and that is, you get a percentage of. That would be level 2. And maybe this is like a haircut, right? Now, or like highlights, or one service, a one-off service, or an introductory service. Maybe you have a coupon or something that you offer people and they come in one time. Level 3 is going to be like the whole shebang. Level 3 might be, level 2 might also be like an event. People can host like bridal parties or something in your salon. Level 3 might be your whole thing. So like a whole bridal package that you do for the bride the day of, in advance. You do the style, the makeup, the hair, the whole thing. You do it on location, or you do it in the salon, whatever. And it includes blah, 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 all the things. And also you do, for engagement photos, you do that too. You do the hair and makeup for that. So it's like a whole package, a high level offering of VIP service. It could also be extensions, highlights, and a cut, right? That's something that probably people aren't going to come right away and be like, hi, I'd like extensions today. Maybe they will. Some people will jump right from here to here if that's really what they're looking for, but it's probably a higher level investment and something people are going to think about. So that's going to be your level 3. Is that making sense? I think that's pretty straightforward. So you want to think about, for your unique business model, what's your sales funnel? What's level 1, your free offerings? What's level 2, your low investment, low time commitment? And then what's level 3, the VIP offerings, the high investment, high commitment? So once you have all of that, you'll notice that you'll notice where it's not in balance, number 1. So if you have not enough free offerings and not enough ways that you're reaching out and casting a net, you're probably going to notice something in your business that's happening, is that there aren't enough people to fill all of your spots and your services coming in. This is usually something that is like Once we realize this, we're like, oh, yeah, of course. Okay, so my efforts need to be more in the marketing department than in the actual like client work. And then we stress ourselves out before we map this out and see this funnel to think, oh, I must be doing something wrong, or nobody likes what I have to offer, or whatever, and we get in our own way, when really the fact is we just need to focus more of our energy and attention on building out that level 1 of the sales funnel. So we're casting a wider net, we're bringing in the people who really need what we offer, and then we're able to serve them in a really beautiful, powerful way. Okay. Any questions about that, just post them in the comments and I will get back to you about them. The fourth point, so point 1 is focus on delighting your customers and clients. Second thing is diversify your offerings. Third is consider your sales funnel. 4 is raise your prices. Oftentimes I find that we are afraid to raise our prices. We haven't done it in a while. We've been investing a ton of money and energy in our own growth and development, but it hasn't shown up in proportion to the amount that we're charging. And so I like to say every 6 months or so, look at all your pricing and see, okay, is this still feeling good? Just check in with it. Is this still feeling good? Is this sustainable? Is this going to help me meet my actual income goal? I like to work in reverse with my clients. So I like to say, okay, how much money would you love to make? And then I'd say, okay, well, what are the offerings that you have? And let's think about, okay, if a lot of them are higher level and some of them are lower level, what's the mix here? Like percentage wise, roughly, like 80% of your income is going to come from your higher level offerings and 20% from your level 2 offerings, let's say, if we're thinking about the sales funnel. So if that's the case, then how much money would you like to make? Let's say $100,000. So 80% of that, $80,000 is going to come from your level 3 offerings, which are this, this, and this. So how many people can you realistically serve with those offerings? And then work backwards and say, okay, if I take this divided by this, and if I have $80,000 between these 3 things, how would I divide that? What's the price point that would make sense to meet that goal? And if your prices are currently lower than that, think about raising them, or think about, okay, does this still feel good? If I were to do the math, does this feel like a fair price, and do I feel comfortable offering this? Like, does it feel like a bit of a stretch for me, but ultimately it feels like the right decision to raise my prices? Maybe there's some mindset work that needs to happen around that if that's the case for you. And also at the same time, what you can do to sort of mediate some of that mindset stuff around raising your prices is to also add value of some kind, right? Something that's not going to cost you a ton of money or take away from your profit margins too much, but that's also going to add incredible value for your clients and customers who are working with you as you're raising your prices. So something like something that I've done personally around this year is for my one-on-one clients. I've raised my prices, and I've also added the bonus of them being in the group program that I offer. It's a win-win. I'm doing it anyway. I get to serve them better because I get to be on the pulse of what they're doing every single week. I get to check in with them. I get to build a better relationship with them because we are communicating more frequently and consistently. They are connecting with other like-minded women. They have an accountability partner. They get extra resources from me every month. It's awesome, and I love it, and they are loving it because it's working, and it's allowing my service that I'm offering them to be even more powerful because we're both committed in a different way, and we're both able to show up more consistently. And I love that. So think about, how could you do that in your business? What would be a value add that's not going to take away from your, it's not going to leach your time and energy like crazy. It's not going to leach your profit margins like crazy, but it's going to add value, and it's going to make the service or product you're offering even more powerful. So for example, if maybe you're selling essential oils, maybe you add in, okay, every purchase, if you sign up and enroll with me, you get a free essential oil diffuser to actually use your oils, or this book that I love that tells you how to use everything, and it's basically a guide for every oil that you have. Or maybe you add, okay, we're going to hop on a 1-hour consultation call, and I'm going to share with you how to use everything that you just bought. right? That's easy for you because you're already an expert in those things. You can Amazon Prime something to someone very simply. It adds value to their life. It makes it easier for them to use your product and enjoy your product and love your product and get benefit from it so that they come back to you later for more because they actually know what they're doing with it instead of, sometimes we order something like, I'm just looking over here because this is where my like yoni steamer is that I got from Kelly Garza, who I had on the podcast, and I love this thing. But if I bought this and I didn't know how to use it, I wouldn't be going back to her site. I wouldn't be purchasing something else from her. I would be like, okay, I have this thing I don't know how to use. I don't feel supported. But what Kelly does really well is that she gives you, there's a whole page on her website about, how to set it up properly. If it's the first time, how to set it up properly. If it's, if you've been doing it for a while, all these different things. She's already anticipated the questions that are going to come up, and she's put them on her website on a page. There's a link to it in the little welcome kit that you get with the product, and you know how to use it. So it's great. I love that. Something like that could really help you too. And it doesn't take time or energy, like time or money from you really. It's just a matter of putting it in writing so that people can see it, making it available to them when they buy your product or service so that it's easier for you and for them. They can get more benefit, they can get results, all that good stuff. Okay. Number 5 is contracts. So I like to think about what amount of time do you need to really help people create results in what you're doing? And also, how often do you want to see someone? So for me, I think about, okay, if it's this type of client or this type of client, that's going to look different. Sometimes I'll want to work with someone for 6 months. Sometimes it's 3 hours, and that's good enough, depending on where they are and what they need. Sometimes I want to work with them for 6 months or a whole year in a group program, and that's where they're going to get the most results. So I think that that's really important, and having those contracts is going to help you create sustainable income because people are actually more committed. They know coming into the agreement what's expected of them. They know what the rules are and the guidelines and the boundaries are, and you're not going to have people, coming into something and getting out of it right away. That really, for me personally, that feels really stressful for my business. If I were to say, okay, I'm going to open a program and people can just come in and out as they please and it's no commitment, that doesn't feel good. It doesn't allow, 1, it doesn't feel good. 2, it doesn't allow me to help them actually create results because it takes more time than that and I know it. Number 3, I can't really connect with that person. They're not really committed. And number 4, there's no boundaries, there's no expectations, there's no guidelines to that agreement. And so it doesn't allow me to do good work, it doesn't allow them to get results, and it doesn't allow them to have an exceptional experience. So thinking about those types of things in your own business model, how could contracts or agreements benefit you in some way? I know I was talking to a client of mine recently who has a beautiful vintage antique market, and she has different vendors who work from her, and there's, with anything that's consignment or vintage or antique, you're probably not going to want to accept returns. So a return policy and that type of contract is really important so that she eliminates the stressors and things that could come up or the, misunderstandings with clients who may then have a poor experience with her by setting it up in advance and saying, here's what's expected, here's the rules, here's what it looks like. If you buy something, it's non-refundable, non-returnable. If it's in working condition in the store, we're not going to accept it. If it breaks by the time you get it home, that's on you. When it leaves the store, whatever, right? So I think those are really, really important, whether they're agreements and policies internally, externally in your business, specifically for creating sustainable income. It's important to have those outside of your business so that you're controlling for things like returns and all of those things. You know what's coming so that you can plan accordingly. And that doesn't mean don't have a return policy. It means have a return policy that fits for you and for your business and what feels right for you to offer to the people that you serve based on what you are providing them. And maybe there's, a window of 30 days, and after that 30 days, it's non-refundable. Maybe it's just for store credit, right? Think about these things in advance. The sixth point is consistently cultivate leads. Okay, so if you want to create sustainable income, we talked about the sales funnel. So we want to make sure that the level 1 is constantly being refilled. This is a tough one for a lot of us because we're not really sure of what exactly we should be doing, because there are so many options, right? We can be on every social media outlet. We can be on Yelp. We can be on Google listings. We can be everywhere, right? We could be in every magazine, but that can get expensive and it can be time consuming. So my thing is, if you were to really listen to your customers and you were to really create something for them that was serving them in some way, and you were to maybe try in a strategic way, try these social media outlets and see which ones are actually working for you and what feels good for you, which is very important, because to make anything sustainable, it has to feel good for you first, and then it has to actually work. Like the implementation has to be on point and consistent, and it has to actually work for you to keep doing it and to cultivate leads. So for your business, whether that's like Facebook ad campaigns, Instagram ad campaigns, posting on social media consistently, like I'm doing these video training series in my group. I've been loving it because I get to actually connect with you guys and hear what you want and hear what you need and be able to serve you, and I love them, and it's fun and easy for me. So something that you can do that creates connection and builds rapport so that people who are going to work with you, or who are interested in working with you, or who are on the fence about working with you, get to know, like, and trust you more. And in a way, and then doing it in a way that's actually manageable for you and feels enlivening to you. So not in a way that makes you feel miserable or that you hate or that you're constantly resisting, but in a way that you enjoy, that actually helps for you to be visible consistently, for people to find you and connect with you, for them to know what you do and who you are, and that you're doing that consistently so that there's a lead generation happening. It's almost like a flow versus something that's like staccato, or something that feels like you get a ton at one time and then they all trickle down and then everything's gone and it's not being refilled, right? Thinking about the funnel again. Okay, the seventh point is affiliates and referrals. So actually it's funny that I added this. I did this prep yesterday, and a friend of mine today emailed me about the opportunity to share about her retreat and to make some money doing it, and to offer somebody a discount code if they sign up. So I love that. And this is a perfect point for anything that you do that you love. There's probably an opportunity to make some money from it. Whether it's a program that you've done, whether it's a training that you've done, whether it's a product that you use and adore, whether it's a service that you love. For me, that's Green Chef. I freaking love Green Chef, and I love sharing my referral code with people because they benefit. They get 3 meals free. I get some meals free. It's a win-win situation, and it's actually a win-win-win because then that business is making money too. And you're making money, they're getting money off. It's perfect. It's amazing. It's exactly what we want. So it's a way to create more revenue and income, especially with a training program. If you did, a coach training program, or if you went to a certain school somewhere, I don't know that they do this with like colleges, but like training programs, certification programs, things like that. A lot of times you can be an affiliate for the program and share about it in an authentic way, and then receive a kickback if anyone signs up using your link. Same with, I mentioned before, Amazon. They have an influencer program. They have an associates program. So if you find that you're recommending things to people often, you can get a kickback from that and make some money in addition. And that's pretty much passive income. You'd be doing it anyway, but You're just sending someone a specific link and they can purchase through you at no extra cost to them, and you get some money back, which is great. So check out opportunities for affiliates and referrals. I find that that's really helpful. And if it's something that you use anyway, you know, and you're referring someone else to it, you love it, you like it, it's easy for you to talk about it because you actually really do enjoy it and you use it. It's easy. It's easy money, right? Okay, the 8th one is scaling. So this one's really about serving more people with less energy overall, scaling your business to actually be able to create more income and generate more revenue that's actually sustainable because it doesn't require so much from you all the time. This is the one that a lot of people get caught up on because they're like, how do I not trade time for energy when I'm offering something like coaching or like in a hair salon, for example. This is something that's just an example that apparently is fresh in my mind and keeps coming up. But how do I stop trading time for money and actually scale my business so that it can serve more people, generate more revenue with my hands off a little bit more? So this is one that's very specific to your own business model, but consider what would it look like to scale this thing so that you could have a little bit more space and time, still give them what they need from you, still create results, but maybe it looks different. So maybe it looks like instead of just offering private coaching, maybe you create a group program or a virtual program or something like that. Maybe scaling your business looks like hiring people to do it for less than you would, and having a team under you, and sort of taking more of a leadership role where you're not actively doing the work, whatever that is, and you're actually able to delegate that to other people. Scaling your business might look like taking it online instead of having it be all in person, because then you aren't driving as much. Things like this that are small shifts but actually change things in a big way for you. So thinking about that. Okay, and then the 9th one is when it comes to creating sustainable income, is asking for the sale confidently, authentically, and being okay with the word no, and sharing versus selling. So all of these sort of, to me, go hand in hand. So it's about creating a powerful sales conversation with someone that you feel confident going into, that you aren't freaking out about, and that the energy is clear. So the first thing, let's talk about asking for the sale confidently, right? If there's anything mindset-wise, energetically, you've had past experiences where that it's been a little bit traumatic for you to ask for the sale, this is going to be a tough one, and you're going to need some coaching and some mindset work around this so that you can free yourself up from the blocks that you have and actually move forward confidently. Okay, authentically. This is something that comes from, I believe, really connecting to the deeper why behind why you're doing what you're doing and sharing from your core message instead of just, trying to make a sale. Instead, it's about connecting with someone, listening to what they need. If you have a solution to that need that you can fill, awesome. And that's an authentic conversation when it comes to sales, right? And asking for the sale. By the way, so what have you been doing? How's business? Okay, it's blah, 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 it's good, could be better. Oh, well, I'd love to really support you with that. How can I help? What do you need? And then once they tell you what they need, oh, I have this that would actually support you in doing that and creating the result that you want. Would you like it? Right? It's like the same thing as saying like, oh, well, I'm really hungry. Okay, well, I have a pizza. Would you like some? Yeah. Or maybe they're not in the mood for pizza, and that's okay, and that's not a personal thing. That's a metaphor, by the way. I'm not thinking that you're all out there slinging pizza, slinging the pies. Okay. And then when it comes to being okay with no, I like to think about this as the more no's I get, the closer I am to another yes or my next yes. So the truth is, we'll probably get more no's than yeses, generally speaking, in life about anything. There are ways to get around that, but in the beginning, And as you're growing and as you're starting something new or just experimenting with this, getting comfortable with no. So often I hear, I fear that I'm going to be rejected, or I fear that someone's going to say no is the major part. And so what if they do? Okay, they said no. And usually it's just a no for right now. It's not even a no totally. Or it's a no to the one thing, but you have 10 other things that you could offer them, right? So don't get discouraged by a no. Use the no as evidence that you're putting yourself out there, that you're having more conversations, and that you're getting closer to a yes. And the last thing is sharing versus selling, right? So if you are going to share something with someone, it's a lot different than what we typically think of as selling. And when we think of it as selling, we often get all choked up and we get all weird and we think of it differently, and we think we have to show up as this other version of ourselves, and we think, we're not good enough, or we don't know how to sell, or whatever. And let's just take the pressure off and say, okay, I just want you to share this with someone. Just share it. They can say no. It's okay. We're okay with that now. If they say no, it doesn't matter. We're not going to take it personally. But you got to share it with someone for them to say yes, right? Because if you're scared of the chance that they're going to say no, you also are robbing them of the opportunity to say yes. And you're robbing yourself of the opportunity for them to say yes and for you to make more money. So that's another thing. And I guess along with this, let's put a cherry on top and have this be 10 points. So 10 different ways that you can create sustainable income. Another one is actually following up, right? So often this is an easy one to forget. We get busy, creating a system for yourself where you remember to follow up with people about things. There have been times in my business where I've sent someone an invoice. I've gotten busy with other things. I've been distracted. I've forgotten to follow up. And then that invoice is just sitting there. That's money on the table. I could have followed up with them and said, hey, remember this? I'd love to, what do you need from me? Like, hey, by the way, reminder, this is here, and that's happened a few times, and that's silly. It's money on the table. That's an easy way. Another way along with that, following up and checking in, right? Going back to clients who've worked with you before and say, hey, I have this new thing that I'm offering, or hey, I haven't heard from you for a while. How are you doing? Do you need anything? How can I support you? How can I serve you? And for, again, my metaphor for hair salons or something, but I've seen pizza places do this. I've seen a lot of types of businesses do this. Like, hey, we haven't heard from you in a while. Even Westo does this to me all the time. I keep getting coupons from them. But it's like, hey, we haven't seen you in a while. I'd love to offer you this. Here's 10% off your next service if you book within the next 10 days, right? That's a way, creating incentives and following up with people and creating a CRM system, customer relationship management system, where it is, sort of on automation in a sense, that if you haven't heard from someone in a while, you follow up. Maybe that's automated completely. Maybe it sends you a reminder to follow up with someone and say, hey, we haven't heard from you in a while. How are you? What's going on? And it also just makes them feel special, and we want to make people feel special. We want to have them have a great experience with us as leaders and as business owners. So is there something that you could do in that respect to create more sustainable income in your business and follow back up with old leads or people who have worked with you in the past? What are the opportunities there for you? Okay, so to recap. 1, focus on delighting your customers and clients and making them feel special, connecting and adding value. Number 2, diversify your offerings, create new products, services, types of services, go online, host events, workshops, collaborations. Number 3, consider your sales funnel, all 3 levels versus trying to have someone jump from 1 to 3. Raise your prices and add value. Number 5, contracts. Number 6, consistently cultivating leads. Number 7, affiliates and referrals. Number 8, scaling. And number 9, asking for the sale confidently, authentically, and being okay with no. And number 10, following up, checking in. Awesome. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for tuning into this training live. And if you are watching the replay, thank you as well, and let me know if you have any questions at all that I can help you with. Just a heads up, I do have a couple spots opening up for half-day intensives here in Charleston if you're local, or if you're in driving distance, or if you want to just come down. It's getting very nice outside here, not snowing. So if you want to come down and spend half a day with me, it's 3 to 4 hours where we'll connect and really get clear on your business strategy. And if this is something that you're struggling with, if creating sustainable income in your business is something you're struggling with, I would love to meet with you one-on-one in an intensive and really get to dive in deeper to this and your unique business model. So reach out to me. You can reach me at emily@emilycastle.com or send me a message here on Facebook if you're interested in that. And we can look at dates and see what would work for you and for your schedule and get you booked. I also have my group program, the Soulful Success Collective, that you can join at any time, and we meet weekly to discuss strategy, and we have spotlight coaching in those group calls weekly where you can receive support around all of this, as well as in our private Facebook group for the program. And I have possibly a private coaching spot opening up next month. So if you're interested in that, let me know. My roster is full at the moment, but I may have some spots opening up soon. So you can find all of that information at emilycastle.com/private-coaching, or just by going to my website and going to the Work With Me tab and selecting private coaching. You can look at the intensives and the private coaching and apply there if you're interested in either of them. And if you're interested in joining our group, you can do that on my website as well. It's emilycastle.com/collective, or you can go to the Work With Me tab and select Soulful Success Collective. And thanks again for tuning into this training and being part of this group. I look forward to hearing from you soon. And check out today's podcast if you haven't already, with Christina LaCure. She is awesome and super inspiring. We had a great conversation. So check that out. And I look forward to chatting with you soon in the group. Bye, ladies.